Hello, welcome to DHRE Live, hosted by Ian Hoover, co-host myself, Sean. We're starting this show to kind of introduce different perspectives from our agents, from our partners, and we're going to show you a little bit about Pittsburgh as well.
Yeah, we're trying to bring some community involvement in,
So,
talk real estate, talk our amazing team.
yep, and we have so many stories, and you guys will get to hear them. Maybe not the best ones, but you'll get to hear some of them. So,
They might not all be good for public sharing.
yeah, we'll have to talk to some of the people about that stuff.
Work hard, play hard.
All right. So this episode, we are going to talk about Pittsburgh restaurants.
Mm.
Anywhere from your entry level pizza shops to a high end restaurant that you'd want to take your wife or a date to.
I'll tell you what, obviously, as a former really fat guy, now sort of fat guy,
You're not fat, dude. Get over it. I
I,
feel
lo-
like me and you are the same weight.
I love to eat. I mean,
We all
I
love to eat.
love to eat. And Pittsburgh is like one of them towns that just everywhere you look, there's something good.
Well, I always joke around with people who are moving in from out of state about this. You can go to different parts of the city and get a completely different vibe.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Go to Little Italy down in Bloomfield.
Yep.
Go to Southside,
Go to the strip.
Strip, North Shore,
Yeah. Go to
downtown.
go to Washington County. You'll get some good barbecue stuff,
You get a little bit of anything in every direction you can go. So,
Absolutely.
that being said, Hoover, do you want to start on the high end or the low end?
I mean, my favorite's the low end, right?
That's the easy stuff.
That's the good stuff right there.
So,
Your favorite grease hole.
geez, Grease.
Greasy. I'm hungover. I need a good meal, or I've been tying a few on, and I need to sober up a little bit.
Well, dude, you knew I grew up in Southside, right?
Exactly.
I can go through all of Southside actually. That being said, I will start off with one of two options, and I'm going to start with the one you don't think. I'm going to go with Mike and Tony's.
You know what's funny?
What?
I've never eaten at Mike and
Wait, you
Tony's.
don't like gyro, do you?
No, I'm not a big gyro
That's
person,
what
but I
it
think they have
is.
like chicken gyros.
They have a bunch of stuff.
Just never tried it. I've drank there. I've never eaten there.
Drank there. They don't carry bear.
They do at the one in
Well, that's not
Ridgeville.
Southside. We're talking about Greasy. We're talking about Southside.
Okay. Definitely the most well-known gyro place in town.
By far.
Yeah.
Funny enough, about 3 years ago, a gyro shop opened right across the street from the one in Southside. It shut down pretty quickly. Did not make any business.
That kind of makes sense.
Yep.
Maybe you should have went like 10 blocks in a different direction.
Nonetheless, if you want a good gyro, if you are a gyro fan, unlike Hoover over here, and you want a good gyro, go to Mike and Tony's. It's actually expanded. There's one downtown now, one out in Bridgeville. There's talks that they're opening one in North Hills now.
Yeah, they're expanding.
Yeah, they're expanding, but they have so much business. People go to them consistently, and they're a great snack, lunch, after drinking kind of food. So, how about for yourself, Hoover? Where do you go?
There's none better. And I know it's kind of a chain now, so it's kind of breaking the rules already, but there's none better than Permanis, right?
It's still Pittsburgh.
You want that just greasy chicken wings, pizza. They got a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And they're good at everything. They're like a jack of all trades of food.
I'm not a sandwich kind of person all the time, but they're not just their gyros, but their own selection of sandwiches with coleslaw on it.
Coleslaw and French fries.
Yep. So
their boneless wings are bomb.
But yeah, that's a Pittsburgh original that actually has a new ownership. I believe it's out of Florida now. But nonetheless,
I didn't even know it had new ownership.
Yeah, that's why it became a franchise.
A chain.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. But that's a Pittsburgh staple. If you haven't been to Pittsburgh or you're new here, or maybe you've just been living under a rock, you got to go to Permanis.
The original's right down in the Strip District.
It is, yeah.
It's right down in the Strip District, which is a house for a lot of good restaurants and food again.
And I feel like, either that one or the one in the South Side is just elevated above the rest. Like I've eaten at the one in Robinson, I've eaten at the one in Washington. They're just not quite as good.
No, they don't got the same feel.
Right.
It's not the same vibe as being actually in the city.
100%. You got to have that vibe.
Yep. I mean, there's some, but once again, going through those quick places like that, there's so many of them. You remember chicken shish kebabs right down in Southside.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And that's something that if it's called the Cambodian kitchen, if you look it up, but it's the food you get is shish kebabs, but no, just so much that you can go through if you're wanting to drink and you're looking for a food to go along with it. Just walk down Carson Street.
Best pizza, Sean.
Oh man, this is a rough one. I know who I'm gonna say. It's gonna be Fury's, but there's a lot.
Uh,
Fury's is to me just the staple of Pittsburgh pizza.
Fury's is definitely the greasiest pizza in town.
There's not even a comparison. Well, I
Yeah.
guess Minos. I guess Minos maybe.
I mean, super delicious. They have that like sweet sauce. Um, Definitely one of my favorite joints if I'm going to pick up a pizza.
How can you not?
Well, the funny thing is you introduced me to most of the, Pittsburgh stuff I've eaten because I'm not originally from here. And there's one other place that comes to mind, and it's for a specific type of pizza.
What's one's that?
Berg's.
Yep.
So Berg's out of Bridgeville, which by the way, if you have a family and you just want to, swing in there and have, I mean, they got like, just about anything kids will eat,
Oh yeah, they have a
chicken
big menu
tenders,
as well.
they got grilled cheese, burgers, like just about anything you could possibly want. But their deep dish pizza is probably the only one in town. I mean, I don't know of
Uh,
any other deep dish.
of a local place, possibly, but there's a few other like Caliente, that pizza shop I was telling you about. They
Yeah,
definitely have a few deep dishes. Actually, no, there is one, and it's a local place. Ironborn. I don't know if you've heard of it. There's only
never
two.
heard of it.
There's only two of them in Pittsburgh, but they sell out of dough almost like that.
Really
Yep, there's one in Millville, and there's one down in the Strip District.
interesting.
But they make custom pizzas, and traditionally they make the deep dish now.
Well, I think that if you're going to check out the deep dish at Berg's, make sure you have time because they say it takes what 45 minutes to make it,
Well, yeah, they have to make each layer separately.
and they don't allow you to take it to go anymore.
Oh, I don't know
There's
if
something
that's the
weird
case.
with that. Like you have to be sitting in the restaurant to eat. Maybe you just can't order it in advance and then eat it there. You have to like order it while you're there. It's
I,
something weird with it.
I would say I haven't ordered it in a while, but that's kind of weird.
Yeah, it is a little weird.
So, but they also have great wings there.
Just about great everything. A good spot to stop and get a nightcap too if you
That
want one.
is a good beer spot. They have a good bar. Yeah, that's a good choice. I haven't heard, wasn't even thinking about that one off the bat.
Quick lunch. Where are you going for a quick lunch, Sean?
Oh man. Hell, hey, I got too far away from the mic there. Still learning this.
Still learning slowly but surely.
Quick lunch. How about let's start with you on this one? I'm not thinking about a quick lunch.
I threw that curveball at you. 'Cause I
Yeah,
had one
yeah.
that's a quick lunch spot. Now I don't know if it's a national chain. I didn't really look it up, but they have three locations now. They have one in Robinson, one in Washington, and then one in South Point.
Okay.
It's called Zoop, and it's essentially like a mini Panera. However, their soups are way better than Panera's.
Okay.
And I get in there, get the soup and salad combo. Just a good quick spot. Always get good service there. The food's good.
That being said, I'll be honest with you. My quick place, and it's local, but it could be a good restaurant as well, an evening restaurant for dining. Monticello's.
Okay. Yeah, that's up in your
Monticello's.
neck of the woods.
Yeah, they have some good steak hoagies.
Okay. Yeah,
So I can stop down there and get their sandwiches sometimes.
I've definitely eaten there a couple of times. I just I thought it was more Italianish.
No,
Like crazy.
their menu is like 5 page. It comes across Italianish, and they definitely sell like a deep dish pizza and regular pizza and things like that. But they have like a 5 to 7 page long menu.
I think if one quick note, if you're talking pizza, the coolest pizza shop in town's got to be Dough Bar, right?
Yeah,
With the
yeah.
art and
I'm
the
trying to think. Yeah, Dough Bar would definitely be up there with the art and everything, and their pizza's great too. Actually, they have a deep dish as well. After you were saying about deep dishes,
do they?
yeah.
They must have added that to the menu.
No, that was one of the originals.
Huh, okay. Well, I am standing corrected.
They don't call it a deep dish. They call it a Detroit deep dish or something like that.
Interesting.
It's a little different. Supposedly Detroit, they put their sauce on top, and it's called like a red brick pizza or something like that.
A red brick pizza.
Yeah.
Learned something new.
So that note, where are you taking your wife to?
You know what? I recently found out they just reopened it, but it's in a different location now. One of my favorite spots to eat in Carnegie, which is where our office is located, was Papa J's before it burned down.
I remember that. Yeah.
And they recently, I guess, reopened down in the Strip District.
Really?
And I walked through there the other day. It's pretty cool in there. They got a little gelato stand in there. They got a little bar in there. Of course, the delicious Italian food. I would say like Papa J is a nice Italian dinner. You know, you're not going to break the bank probably, but it's still kind of upper end dining, and it's a very cool environment.
Okay. Okay. For me, I'll stick in the strip district since that's what we're talking about. Down in the strip district, everybody knows of Woolies as the seafood grocery store,
Yeah,
but they also own a restaurant right down the road, about 2 blocks down.
they sure do.
Honestly, I know you're not the hugest seafood person, but they do such a good job with any seafood in their steaks that me and my wife went there a few years ago for an anniversary, and just Staple was like, oh, that's a good place to go if you want to go.
Hmm. I mean, I've been there, but it's been a really long time, so maybe I should put it back on the list to check it back out.
Oh,
Huh?
I know me and you hung out there once for a bar event just for drinking, but
Mhm.
I didn't know if you've been there for food, but
I think it was just drinking. I don't know if I ate there. I might
okay.
have ate like an appetizer or something.
Well, I guess we need to talk about nightcaps where you're
I
going to
think
go
we
for a
need to talk
nightcap.
about breakfast too.
Oh, why did we get forget about
We
breakfast?
did forget about breakfast.
It's never a thing on me, but Pittsburgh is so well known for it.
I know.
I'll start with, and I know where you may go, so I'll start with Kelly O's. Kelly O's is also down in the Strip District. They only have one that I know of. They may have a second, but they only have one that I know of. Um, Kelly O's is just your typical sloppy breakfast. You go in there, get your hotcakes, get your bacon, sausage, you name it. It's all fresh. It's in and out. It almost feels like a college breakfast bar.
I've never eaten there.
It is fun. You wait outside in the line. They just take you in one by one as they replace the tables.
Pamela's, I think, was pretty big down there too.
That
Or
was the other one I was thinking of, but that was the traditional one that everybody will talk about. Kelly O's kind of gets almost forgotten about because of Pamela's.
my favorite is probably a chain. I think it's called the Pancake House. You know it. We go
Yeah,
there quite
yeah,
often. They just have very delicious food.
it is a chain, but yeah,
I think they have. Yeah, they're not a huge chain, but they have a couple
they started in
occasions.
Florida.
But if I'm gonna choose, like, just and this is a recent one I just got introduced to, but it's kind of just a little greasy, delicious breakfast, in and out, huge portions, low cost. It's called Our Diner. It's in Imperial. So if
Okay.
you're out past the airport and you want to grab a quick greasy breakfast, I
Hmm.
mean, I want to say I left so full, and I think the bill for two people was like $18. So you can't beat it. Delicious food, good service, good atmosphere.
All right. Well, the one I was going to bring up for a nightcap place is actually somewhere me and you had talked about just recently. Me and my wife went there about a year ago now. Wiggle Whiskey. Yes, I said whiskey, and if you know me, you know I like my whiskey. However, we went there to test the whiskey because they make them there and realized they have a nice restaurant, which I got a solid burger there at like a 9 o'clock time with a glass of whiskey, and it was pretty good.
I have never been there, so that's probably got to be our next whiskey night together. So
Wiggle
we'll
Whiskey.
go to Wiggle Whiskey, and drink and have some. The food's good too.
Food's good.
Okay, because that's important when you're having a nightcap. You gotta be able to have a little appetizer too. Uh Man, I'm so torn on this because it's like probably my favorite topic of like where just to go hang out, have a good drink and some food. I love Fatheads.
Fatheads is good, but
That
that's pretty chainy.
it's pretty chainy at this point. So
Is that a
I
new word, chainy?
Cheney, we're making up stuff. And Fatheads is probably my favorite, like down that area. You know, obviously Hofbräu House, but that's a chain too.
Definitely a
Um,
chain.
so local, and of course this is probably being close to the office too. I really have grown to be a big fan of Alexion's.
That's a good
It's
place.
a little
Definitely a good
neighborhood bar
place.
here, right outside of Carnegie, and they have good drinks, good service, and the freaking pepperoni
Rolls
rolls
are
or whatever the hell
ridiculous.
they are. Just oh my god, absolutely amazing. I could eat the whole serving. It's like 6 rolls or whatever. I mean, I would just eat it all.
That's dangerous.
Super dangerous.
I'll point out one more Carnegie place then, Piper's Pub.
Oh yeah, Piper's is good.
Piper's Pub, great place. A lot of kind of just nice little appetizer foods. They do have a dining selection, but
Absolutely.
good place to go if you want to grab lunch for a business meeting or just in general. Don't get me wrong. On a soccer game night, I wouldn't go there for dinner.
Makes sense.
Gets a little rowdy.
Yeah, I like Riley's Poorhouse too. I'm a big
Yeah.
Riley's fan. So yeah, with that being said, if you guys, anybody listening, has some good restaurants that maybe we didn't mention, we're always looking for new spots. And heck, we might even come if the owners reach out, we might even come and do a little tour and post that on Instagram
Oh,
and
that would be great.
Facebook. So feel free to reach out and thanks for tuning in.
Thanks, guys.